started by making content just to do a video diary of my cats. So it was really mostly for me and my friends. And it kind of just blew up. Yeah. So the intention was never to be a content creator or anything. I kind of haphazardly became one. And how I first got into having cats and everything was I actually grew up being terrified of animals like cats and dogs because my brother was very allergic. So I think my parents just kind of told me all animals were dangerous and stay away from a cat or a dog because mostly to keep my brother okay from allergies. But yeah, so a few years ago during the pandemic, I moved out and one of my friends had adopted Wasabi, but she was really allergic and she contacted me being like, "Oh, hey, I have this cat. He's really great. It's just I'm too allergic to keep him and I need to move him out now." So she really really loved him, but she tried with allergy meds and everything, I think, and it just wasn't a good fit. And I was like, I know nothing about cats. Nope, I'm okay. But she was kind of you know, we can test it out and see. So she dropped off this cat, and I literally knew nothing about cats at all. Um, the first night, well, I call him Sabby, but the first night Sabby started living with me, he lay on my chest and started purring at night. And this is how little I knew about cats. He started purring, and I started panicking. I was Googling all night, is my cat broken? Why is my cat vibrating? Did I hurt my cat? What's going on? And I don't think I slept for 24 hours, just trying to learn anything and everything about cats. Um, so that's kind of how it started. And then he's really chaotic. So I was like, okay, well, I need to find him a friend. And I ended up adopting Sushi as a friend for him. So within the span of a year, I ended up having three cats and becoming a foster and content creator and everything. And it started off as somebody who was terrified of a cat. I think just the general advice I would say for somebody who's adopting a cat is obviously I didn't do it that way because I haphazardly ended up with Sabby and I learned kind of as I went. But do your research, make sure you understand what the responsibility is of having a cat first. I knew as if I were to keep Wasabi, I would give him the best life possible. I think what makes me really sad, especially because I work in rescue, I volunteer and do rescue work with foster cats, is how fast or easily people seem to abandon their animals. Whenever it's moving day, we know that cats are going to be abandoned, let out on the street, and just left behind in apartments when people move. I think if you are going to adopt an animal, understand it's a long-term commitment. These animals, you're their whole world. They have no understanding what happened to them if they're abandoned or something. For example, even Matcha, just adopting him out, he was terrified. I think he felt I abandoned him because after he was returned, that was one of the most I could touch him. When he returned, he let me pet him way more than I ever could before. I think he was kind of "Oh my God, please let me stay. I trust you now. You're better than where I ended up behind the toilet hiding. Please let me stay." You need to kind of be ready that they are forever with you for their whole lives and plan for 20 years from then. That would be my main advice to any. If you were to want to be a creator, it's very hard to kind of break into the what would I call it? The niche, I guess, just because there's so many people doing it. So I think maybe what worked was that I never had being a content creator in mind. And maybe people saw that it was just very authentic and it was just very much my experience raising my cats. And where I saw it it really took off. At the beginning of January, I had 35,000 followers on Instagram and 8,000 on TikTok. And it's 120 now on Instagram and 150,000 plus on TikTok. Was when I was really much sharing my foster journey. So it was kind of weird because at the beginning I was I'm not going to share the kittens a lot because it's a Wasabi Sushi matchup platform. So everybody wants to see my cat. No, I was wrong. People want to see cute little kittens more. So people very much fell in love with Clementine and Fuji, those two kittens in particular. Um, yeah. And they're just so adorable. And I don't even have to like I think there's like a big difference. Before I would like spend so much time trying to figure out like what type of content do I make? You know, will people like this? Will people not like this? And kind of like overthink it a bit. Um, and when it hit off was when I stopped overthinking, you know, and just like fully just kind of shared my day-to-day life with the kittens. And people kind of related to that. And I think that's why people loved Fuji and Clementine, because it's just me recording their like everyday activities and putting like my silly jokes as like the caption and making them like talk or how I imagine they would be speaking to each other. It seems that people really got invested in their adoption story because I posted from the day I went to go pick them up at the SPCA, and people just kind of wanted to check in every day. How are their two little kittens like doing? Like I feel like people kind of felt like it's like they were on the rescue journey as well, because I just like posted the day to day. And I think that's just like very heartwarming, and I really appreciate like people's support. Over the years, I've even had really kind followers of mine donate food and supplies to the kittens. Because like I said, I started off just out of pocket paying for everything. All the foster cats, like the two rescues I work with, they didn't always provide supplies or anything. So food, litter, everything. And as a student, it can be pretty expensive to have foster 28 cats, but I had really, really kind followers donate so much food and supplies to me. That really, really helped. I think I just have like the best community. I'm biased, but I think I have like, one of the best cat communities around me, and people are so kind and supportive of each other. It was other creators that I followed at the beginning who shared their foster story that I was just, I'm kind of interested in this. And I would message them and get advice from them and just an idea of how fostering is and, you know, what it entails and the responsibility. And it was like through that. And then I was so inspired by their story and foster experience that I kind of wanted to do the same for other people. Even if one person who watches each of my video becomes a foster and takes in a little family of cats, that's a win for me. That's kind of like the goal of, I think, why I do what I do.